wrong button.
There we go. Okay, cool. So what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back at it again with yet another fantastic Next Music live artist interview. Today we have the legendary duo Blasterjaxx in the house. What is up, guys?
Hey guys, thanks for being here, and it's a pleasure to be here with you guys and with all the Next Music family members. Yeah, looking forward for the next half hour.
Well, hell yeah, guys. Well, sweet. Everybody watching, just coming into the room right now, you guys know the drill. Go ahead and ask your questions to Blasterjaxx live right here on the show. And if you guys get picked, you guys get a reward. Today's reward is 10 gems, and everyone goes bananas for those.
Gotta love it.
So
Gems are great.
And gems, ooh!
So keep them coming, guys, for that. I have my screen loaded up. I can see them right here. So, hey, right off the bat, thanks, guys, again for coming on the show. So for anybody that might be watching that might not be familiar with your music, can you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Yeah, sure. Well, we are known as the duo Blasterjaxx. This is Idir, I'm Tom, and for all of our music, you should actually check out Spotify to see, because we are known for the big room kind of music, a lot of big room EDM music. But since we dropped our album a couple of months ago, there's much more diverse kind of music on there. So you should definitely check it out. We think our music's pretty cool, but that's always a case with your own music. But it's for you guys to to judge that.
Yeah, gotta love that big room energy, right?
I think it's good.
Yeah.
I really actually do like just big room bass. It's so cool.
Yeah, that bass, man. 808s.
Well, we have a lot of bass, so that's you're good on our page. Yeah.
So sweet. Yeah. So you guys just actually released Blackout. I think it was on the 20th. Could you guys go over a little bit more about how that specific song actually came to be, that by high energy?
Yeah, about the Blackout song. Well, like I mentioned before, like we just dropped our album a couple of months ago, and we were thinking, what about a follow-up track? Since we have a whole big stack of tracks lined up for the next one, and Blackout just felt like the right track to drop right off the album. It's really really close to our core sound. It's really that big room energy thing, big breaks, big drop, and a lot of bass. So yeah, we thought this track would be a good follow-up after the album.
Yeah. I mean, like, so how did like this duo of Blasterjaxx like come to be? There's actually one of the questions I've been meaning to ask you guys anytime I've ever got to meet you. I've been following you guys.
How we
for a
came
long
to
time.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually funny. Well, Blasterjaxx the name was already out there, but we weren't in the setup as we are right now. And like we have two versions of the story, but the original version.
The version is I was a fan of Blasterjaxx Tom before, and that's how kind of we met together and how we work together right now.
Yeah.
Oh, so he was a fan before, and now...
He was a fan, yeah, totally. Well, the thing was that back in the days we made a little bit different kind of music. It was more like Latin and tribal house kind of stuff. He was making music himself also, and we had due to a mutual friend, we met up actually at the gym, and we said like, "Yo, let's just make some music together and see what will come after that." And right there, like we found the chemistry together that really worked out very well. And ever since, this is Blasterjaxx.
That's awesome. You guys like just met up at the gym and you're just like, you know what? Let's just collab, man.
Yeah, but I mean, back in the days, we had maybe like, let's say 40 SoundCloud followers, I mean, we were really small back. It's not that he just, joined the team a year ago. We all came really from the bottom.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 40 SoundCloud followers. It's just like it was yesterday, man. So sweet. How would you guys like actually describe your like dynamic together?
Our dynamic together. Well, I think very wild, loud, and sensitive at the same time. We both really like that sensitive touch on a track. We really love melodies. We really love like emotion in there, and not just playing cheesy four to the floor stuff. We always try to to find a way to create something unique, to create something that's more than just a very cheesy club track. And I think that's to describe our chemistry best, I believe. Maybe you got a better idea.
No, that's correct. I think that's good.
Yeah, well said. Well said. So my screen is just now flooded with questions right now, guys. Keep them coming right now for Blasterjaxx, guys.
There's a ton of them over there.
There's a ton of them right here. So this one is from, what is it? Wait, what does that say? That's where JDJ, is that how you say it? Okay, yeah, JDJ. This person asked, where do you guys get your inspiration from? Anything specific?
Not really something specific. It's just all around. I mean, we really like to listen to all kinds of genres, except for like um, the EDM. So we can get like a lot of vibes from other genres on other tracks, and we really like to just take a break in a bungalow for 5 days, and we just pick our studio gear and go there for a week and just make music.
Yeah.
And that really like gives us a lot of inspiration as well. Get out of the studio that you're every day.
So like, do you guys ever get like writer's block? So like, is that like your solution to writer's block is just like pack up all the gear and just go somewhere and then
Well, we totally get writer's blocks. Yeah, totally. And I think we have maybe over 1,000 unfinished projects in our computer. That's for sure. But sometimes that's what happens, and that's over the years you'll find a way to deal with that basically. And if we are stuck on a certain track, and we have really cool setups of tracks laying down, which have been flown around for over the years already, and we can't manage to finish them every time again. So that's what happens, and then you just have to accept the fact that sometimes you're working on a track which is going to be really cool, but then you're stuck, and then just lay it down, let it be, and just continue on the next one, and maybe in the future you can pick it up again.
Yeah, I was about to ask, like, do you ever like just intentionally go back into like those, let's say, 1,000 unfinished projects and then try to actually like take one from one, maybe match it into another, and hopefully just try to make it work? Or
well, lately we do that a little bit more often, yeah. And also what I figured lately, what we do is that we take a project that we started, let's say, a while ago, and from there we heard a hook or like a certain part of a melody in a breakdown. We're gonna use that part out of the track, but in the end we changed it so much that we create a new track from that inspiration, but we still have that original hook laying down, so we can recycle a track sometimes 2 or 3 times. And I think that's a great thing to do. I mean, that's the best way to avoid writer's block at the moment.
oh, that's what's up. Yeah, good insight. Good insight to that whole process. So, so actually, what was your creative process in making your debut album, Perspective? Is there like a specific message that you want to convey with that, like, or mood?
Well, mood wise, well, even for this one, it all started by craving the fact that we want to have an album for ourselves. I think it's an ego thing. It is an ego thing, but we wanted to have an album. We wanted to say like, yo, we dropped an album at least once in a career. And by starting to do that, I think we also went to like a bungalow home, and from there we were with a couple of songwriters, a guitar, a small studio setup, and just freestyling and flowing around and starting to make songs instead of club tracks. I mean, eventually some of them turned into club tracks, but they all started as, yeah, I won't say acoustic songs, but pretty indie kind of songs. Yeah.
Yeah, we started with a guitar and a piano and just a songwriter that can sing, but not on a really high level. So we just like
we felt like those hippie boys, like on a little house on the hill with some drinks and all of that, and just freestyling our ass off and creating really different stuff than we would usually do.
That's what's up. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta, relax. And
I've actually heard that a lot of people that make music like to start with the piano or something like the guitar, just to have that very basic feeling where you make the music and then you can just go from there and you kind of inspire yourself.
exactly, yeah.
So sweet. We actually, my screen just keeps like, I have to scroll for a little bit because this is ridiculous. Keep your questions coming, guys, for Blasterjaxx. We have a ton of good ones. This one is from user 08 Chris, and this person asks, is there any advice you could give on upcoming bedroom producers making music?
Any advice? We have a lot of advice.
Well, a good one is you don't need all the best equipment. That's for sure. I mean, like we started in our bedrooms in our bedrooms as well, with nothing on gear. It was just an old computer with no samples, nothing, just Fruity Loops was back then.
Yeah, like a cracked version of Fruity Loops, like torrent all the way, that's so no euros spent on that software stuff.
You have to begin somewhere, so don't spend a lot at the beginning, just trying it out, just do it. It's not about like, you cannot expect to create a full song the first week. There's no way you can do that. So just go for it. You just work and you get somewhere at some point.
Yeah, and other than that, I don't know why, but I was just thinking about this when you told them how we started as bedroom producers. But what you also can do if you want to find some more original samples, is just if you have like old computer games, just put them in your computer if you still have a hard drive, like a hard disk drive or something. Rip off all the sounds on there, and then you have a full complete like sample library again. And that's I don't know why, but it's
Yeah, you
came
have to
on.
be, I don't think, a little bit older to do that, right?
I don't know.
The new kids are not like really into that stuff, but
Yeah, I think the new generation is more like into like looking at tutorials and create it from there, which is also a good thing. But we started from nothing. Like YouTube was just there, but not. I mean, what could you do with YouTube back in the days? Nothing really. So yeah, then you have to be creative.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
YouTube was like not helpful back in the day. I remember like I tried my hand back in college. I had the same torrented Fruity Loops, pirated like the massive plugins, all that fun stuff. It took me like forever to make a track I thought I was proud of, and I showed my roommate and he ripped it apart, and I was just like, you know what? I'd give up.
Should have stuck with it.
No. Not for me, man. Not for me. But so this one is also another user question. This one's from user Nixon. And Nixon. What is your initial reaction? What was your initial reaction to being well known?
Our reaction to be well known.
Yeah, I guess
fame in general.
Yeah, so for fame in general. So going from like the bedroom producers to actually like being booked and all
man.
these festivals.
I don't think it's a reaction, because it's not from the one day to the other day you're gonna become famous. It took us like 3 to 4 years of hard work until we got on a point where we thought, okay, we're getting there, So it's a full traject. It's not something you can do overnight. So I don't think.
Well, I think everything went so fast after a certain amount of time that we didn't even felt the way that we were being famous or whatever or something like that. We were in that roller coaster ride, and I believe we still are. But now we can reflect a little bit better than a couple of years ago, and we can see where we are heading. But back in the days, we just stepped into the roller coaster. This one started to go off, and it was a wild ride. And I think it's honest to say that we also lost ourselves a couple of times along the way. But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of good things and a lot of bad things coming with fame. So I hope this is answering your question.
Good answer. Yeah, I mean, the music industry is always evolving. There's always crazy good things, crazy bad things. It's all about what you make of it.
Yep.
Right. Cool. So ADE is actually coming up. 2 weeks from now? So you guys are actually throwing. Soon. Yeah, you guys are actually throwing your third hosted label night or takeover again. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, totally. Yes, we are very excited for the third time. We're gonna throw like a maximized label night during Amsterdam Dance event. So I don't know if there are any people watching right here from the Netherlands or maybe around, and they want to do like a cool trip to Amsterdam around the ADE. The 15th of October, we are throwing a party in the Chicago Social Club, and like every year again, we have a really sick lineup with a lot of big names. Just go check it out at Instagram. That's the best and the fastest way. You got like ticket links and all of that. So yeah, it's really dope. And the last 2 years was also sold out, and the environment and like the vibe in the club was insane. Seriously, like all the colleagues who were playing at our party, they were really happy afterwards. They said, "Yo, we didn't expect this. This is such a good festival crowd into a club." And yeah, I think that's we had just created the right vibe there together with all the people that came out.
That's what's up. Damn, anybody going out to ADE, gotta check them out.
Want to go to Amsterdam?
Yeah, let's go to Amsterdam.
Be fast, guys. Tickets are going fast, so hurry up.
So you said Instagram is the best way for people to find out more info about it. Do you also have a website?
Yeah, you can find a full lineup there. Website, yeah, just head over to blasterjaxx.com and Instagram. Hashtag Blasterjaxx, hashtag Maximize Records, hashtag all of that. You know where to find us.
There you go, guys. Head over after the show and check them out, guys. Maybe get some tickets if you're out there. So, yeah. So, what is actually, speaking of venues playing, what has actually been like one of your highlighted venues in your career that you've actually been able to perform at?
Well, I think every venue is very special, and it's just a coincidence. But this weekend on the Saturday, we're playing. I think in the best venue in Europe for sure. It's called Bootshaus in Germany, and that is insane. And that's for everybody who is into like EDM, big room, or dance music, they should definitely visit this place once in their lifetime. Especially if you're coming from abroad, this is totally worth the experience there. It's really sick, and I know from a lot of our colleagues and even Tiesto loving to play there, and just everybody is like, it's like the, how to call it, like the rave heaven, I believe. Yeah, it's rave heaven. Boathouse, people, Germany.
Yeah, Boat's House, rave heaven. Wow.
Yeah, totally.
That's my bucket list.
It is. It's really sick.
So I mean, you guys tour a lot, like or play shows like all over the world. Has there been any like interesting, crazy tour stories or like interesting shows?
Well, yeah, we have a
We
lot.
heard the people in this live stream are like below 18, so we might like keep it.
Yeah, we're gonna tell you the good story. No, we had a lot of amazing experience, and that goes from people waiting on the airport for 2 days to just get a picture with us, and until like we one time we've been to Australia, and there were like a couple of girls there, and they made a really long painting of us on like a piece of, what is it, like, it was like, I think
A flag or something.
a really big flag, like 4 meters or something, but really nice painted, and they've been waiting there for hours, and that kind of stuff is really that goes into our mind. Is like, wow, that people are so into our music, or we do something that make them really being this kind of a fan. That's really amazing, and for us, that is, I think, part still of the roller coaster ride, that we can't imagine us being those kind of people they are looking up to, right? And that's yeah.
We don't actually really feel that.
Yeah. But if you want some more crazy stories about touring, let me think. Well, what's crazy, man? I think we have so many crazy things every week that we forget about them, or they don't feel that crazy anymore. But can I just, Joel, do you know any crazy stories from tour? We have to ask the tour manager right now. Yeah, well, what's crazy? I mean, doing 7 flights in just 2 days, that's pretty crazy. I don't say it's fun, but it's crazy.
It's not fun.
No, I just don't have any good story right now. Oh,
So-
yeah, well, we have a good story. So we have a good story. So we were playing in Italy in a club, and it was really sick. It was full. It was sold out, and like everybody was like raving really hard. And then out of nowhere, there was like whatever, like a gas leak in the system. So or it was pepper gas. We were not really sure about it. But anyway, we had to evacuate the whole dance floor. We were playing with like this, because we didn't know what was going on. It was a pretty scary situation, but the whole club was being evacuated, and afterwards, when the gas was out, we continued the party. That was fun.
power through a gas leak and or a pepper spray
Wait
attack.
for the emergency to subside. I'm like, all right, we good?
Yeah,
Everybody
like,
comes back and it starts.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, the crowd was so good, and it would be a shame to end the night like this. We had to continue the night. Yeah.
Wow, this guy, yeah, you guys rock. Just keep rallying it. Other like David DJs would have been like, no, what? Yeah, I'm done. Like, but you
Play
guys,
one song and walk
yeah,
off.
right. You guys powered through it. That's intense. So this we have a ton. I want to get through a lot more of these user questions real quick. Keep them coming, guys, for Blasterjaxx. By the way, a lot of good ones I see on the screen. This one is from Hits 52, and this person asked, do you ever really get tired and just want to chill for a bit?
Do we ever get tired?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, we get tired very often.
I am tired now, so I'm gonna take this week off. I'm gonna go fishing. So yeah, of course, sometimes you need to take a break and go out and do something totally different than you usually do to get your brain back to a regular level, and so we can continue on making good music.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie, we are a little bit workaholic, so it's not easy to set set your mind to something else.
Yeah.
I feel you. Once you're like locked and loaded on one little thing, it's hard to just kind of find like focus on something else, right?
Yeah.
Well, cool. So this is another one. This one's from Meadow
It's a
92.
shame we can't get through them all. There's so many good ones
right here. This one's from Meadow 92, and this person asks, "What would you guys be doing if you guys weren't producers?"
That depends. I think I would end up as a history teacher. I got my most of the paperwork for that, and I was in my final year of university, and it was for communication management. But I think eventually I would go back into the into like educating young children in a different way. And Idia would be car mechanic.
I would have been a car mechanic.
Car mechanic and a history teacher. Wow.
Yeah.
Totally
really
different.
So lame.
Like you guys are just huge DJs, but if not DJs,
Come
teacher,
get your car
mechanic.
fixed. That's awesome, guys. I actually never heard that one before. That's really original ones. This one also, we have another good one. This one's from Purple Violet 23, and this person asks, how do you guys manage your time on the weekends or daily?
Yeah, it's got to be really hectic.
Right?
Yeah, well, actually, we don't. And that's why I said we are a little bit workaholics. And I mean, sometimes management or people around us are like, "Yo, you need to take some time off right now," and sometimes we will, take that call and do that. But other than that, we just go with the flow. And the only good thing is that we are together. So sometimes, we have like normal work. We try to have normal working days. So we start at, let's say, at 11, and then we continue until 6. That helps for us. But I think if some of us would be completely alone, we would probably be like 24/7 work, mind, focus, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, dang. It's getting that grind nonstop.
Yeah, but you don't want to stop because it's something good. And I mean, it's not we feel like it's work. It's just a hobby.
That's the thing. Back in the days after school, I started making music. So why not now? There's no school anymore. It's my work. So I still love to do it. So why? Yeah, we do it every day.
Does it really feel like work though, if you're having so much fun while doing it?
At the end of the album, when we had to finish up things, yes, hell yes, it was a lot of stress, a lot of headaches. But when creating songs, the beginning part of it and everything around it, it's pretty. Yeah,
that's really fun. Just afterwards, when it comes to like really and the last details and just sending feedback for videos and all of that, it's important. And it's all part of it. It's all part of the music industry. But that's we just like to be creative with music and just focus everything on that. But there's more to do than only just make music.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't completely drown yourself with work. You got to have fun in life too, right?
Yeah.
Well, sweet. All right, guys. My countdown timer says we got a little less than 5 minutes left, right? I told you time flies like that, man.
We can fit in another user question.
We can definitely fit in another user question. Which one? This one was. Do you see one on here? And this
I like
one,
that last one.
We do this last one.
Cool. So this one's from Nyaxon 222. Have you ever felt at any time during your career that things just weren't going your way, or?
Yeah, totally. I think that since we're very perfectionist, I think a lot of times things weren't going our way, and that's something you just have to accept and to deal with it, because you're depending on a lot of other people as well. You're also depending on your own creativity and inspiration. So basically, there's not much you have control over in this job. And I mean, we are happy where we are right now, but yeah, I mean, in the past and maybe still today, there are things that we would like to see differently. But I think it's always like that. You always have to put the stakes higher and to make sure you got a goal and to to have more growth and evaluate as an artist.
Always got to take the good with the bad too.
Mm-hmm. True. Right. So you guys have actually worked with like a ton of different artists from all over the world. Has there been one actual like artist that you guys like really want that dream collab with?
Well, yeah, there are a lot. Which one are we gonna say today?
Still, again, the same one.
Is it still Daddy Yankee?
Yeah.
Well, we still would like to work with Daddy Yankee. Yeah.
Dude, that would be insane.
That'd
like,
be big.
Dude, yeah, I can only imagine that big room banger with Daddy Yankee.
Well, actually, once we have made like a crossover. It was like big room with a on break, but we didn't manage to finish it. But it was really sick, and I can still hear him doing that track. So maybe one day, one day.
Maybe if it sees
Keep
this,
dreaming.
maybe.
Right? Dream big. And
We'll hope for it and hope it comes at some point.
Yeah, thanks. Give him some jams. We'll do it.
Yeah. We'll poke him, send him an email. You guys got to slide into his DMs too. Send him that little raw.
Right.
So sweet. That's what's up, guys. So kind of like rounding it down, one of the favorite questions I always like to ask towards the end is, well, a lot of artists have these like really interesting tour writers where they just have like ridiculous stuff on there. Is there anything that stands out on your writer as like a must-have or?
Not anymore. We had some crazy stuff on our rider. I'm not going to repeat it here right now because there's a reason why it's taking off. But what was the craziest thing we had? I mean, I know. Okay, I know stories about other people, not ours, but they had like a DVD of the Little Mermaid on the rider.
A monkey.
A monkey, a dog, a puppy. What else? Like crazy stuff. Like, how do you call it? Like those lottery tickets, you know, like scratch.
Scratchers.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But for us, now I think we have a pretty normal rider nowadays.
So it's like out with the crazy, now with the more like, you know, professional.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's awesome. That's well, great, guys. So you guys, there's still time left in 2019. Was there any big releases coming out? I know you guys just had Blackout come out. Any major tours that people can look forward to, global, domestic ones, or?
Well, we have a lot of releases lined up already. Our schedule is full till March 2020 or something. So in the end of October, we have a new track called Monsters. The one is really cool. It's a follow-up of one of our singles from the album, which was called Children of Today. And this one is done by the same singer. And that's funny because the kid is like 9 or now
10,
he's 10. Now he's 10 years old when he sing the track. It's a Swedish kid, but his English is amazing and his voice is really great on this track. So at the end of October, that track will drop totally. And other than that, ADE, of course, make sure to be there if you're around because it's going to be super sick. A lot of new exclusive music. And just don't forget to follow us on Instagram. If you're still on Facebook, we're still on Facebook, Twitter, but Instagram is the big thing for us. So if you want to find more about us, follow us there at Blasterjaxx.
At Blasterjaxx, guys.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram's like on the come up, on the rise again now. So do you guys also take like user questions or like fan questions from Instagram as well, or?
Yeah, we will. And mostly we also answer all the DMs. Most of them, not all of them, but
That's a good question. Yeah, of course.
yeah. So if they got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them and just send over a DM or just write it down under a picture or something. We will reply to it.
Well, that's what's
Sounds
up. That
good.
sounds good, guys. You heard it here. Slide into their DMs. So that's what's up, guys. So yeah, just rounding down. We got about 60 seconds left. You guys already heard them shout out their socials, Blasterjaxx. You can find them at blasterjaxx.com. Check out more information on their tour or ADE show. Sorry.
Spotify too.
And Spotify, Apple Music, all the distros.
Everywhere.
They're global. Also, check out their debut album, Perspective, and then the newest release, Blackout, too. Hopefully, we're gonna get Blackout in next year shortly. So also look forward to that. So I know our music team is working hard on that. But thank you guys so much for coming on the show today. You guys have been awesome.
It's been a
guys.
blast.
It's been a blast.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Dude, anytime, guys. And then for everyone still watching here at the end, we have a lot more independent artists coming on next music later today. So keep an eye out for all those amazing bedroom producers. They keep the platform going. So yes, thanks, guys. And shout out Blasterjaxx. And thanks for coming on, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.